This trendy short gown on my thumbnail is what I'll be taking you through how to cut and sew. If this is what you love to watch, kindly sit back as I take you through this process. Wonderful people, you're welcome to my channel. Welcome to 2024 and Happy New Year to you all. This year will bring us all around prosperity. Just sit back as I take you through the process proper. So to achieve this, I'll be using 2 yards of African print. On my table already you can see the material there folded into four. I'll be cutting the back and the front together. The back on the ground while the front side is on top, and this is 2 yards of African print that I'll be using for this. So I have folded it. The back, there will be zip at the back, so I have left the zip allowance 1.5 inch apart before laying the front part there. So I'll be starting my measurement from the front, as in after the allowance I give for the zip allowance, I'll be starting my measurement from there. Thank you all for 2023. Thank you, my returning subscribers. You guys are really amazing. I hope and believe that we're going to work together to make 2024 a wonderful year. So I'll be going ahead to mark my borderline. As you can see me right now, that is what I am doing. Then after that, I'm going to start my measurement from there that I'm just showing you now. That's where I'll be starting my measurement, not from the zipper allowance side. So what I'll be going ahead to do right now is to take my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is 16, and 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches. I'll just go ahead and mark it there. Then I'll go ahead and take my shoulder to bust point, which is at 10. Then my waistline at 17. That shoulder to waist is 17. Then shoulder to hips is 26. And then the full length of the gown I am working on is supposed to be 40, but because the client wants the skirt to the gown to be short, I'm going to be taking it at 40. I'm going to use 2 inches to hem the down part, and the gown itself will now be left with 38 inches. So once I have done identifying those points, I will go ahead and use my ruler and draw lines across the dots I have already identified. So if you're coming across the channel for the first time, you're highly welcome. This is 2024. Please do not leave the channel without hitting on the subscribe button and putting on your notification bell to always get notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you, my returning subscribers. I cannot do it without you guys. You guys are wonderful and amazing. 2024, like I said earlier, is going to be a wonderful year for us all. Thank you so much. So I'll go ahead and take my neck width and neck depth. So I'll go ahead and mark that of the back, which is 1.5, and then the width is going to be at 4 inches. Then I'll just connect it. Sorry, the camera didn't cover that area. So I'll go ahead and connect it the way you see me do. Then on the bust circumference area, I'll come up by 2 inches, which is the chest line. From the point of the 2 inches where I went up by, I'm going to go in there by 1 inch. This is to draw the neckline for the front area. You can see it is a V neckline. So I'm going to connect it from that 1 inch identified down to the 4 inches neck width of the back side. That is what I have done the way you have seen me do right now. So I'll be going ahead now to mark my bust circumference, which is 37, and 37 divided by 4 will give me 9.25. I'll mark 9.25 there, and I'll go ahead and add 2 inches for same allowance. Then on the shoulder area, I'm going to come down by 1 inch to form my shoulder slope. I'll come down by 1 inch. Then from that chest point, chest line that I came up by, from the bust line that I came up by 2 inches, I'm going to draw a line there, which is my chest line. Then I'll connect the slope I made from the shoulder area down to the chest line to form my armhole depth. So what I'll just do is to take what I had, the measurement I have on my bust point. I will also mark it on the chest line, then and form a curve for my armhole depth. On the waistline, I will take my waist circumference, which is 35, divided by 4. Divided by 4 will give me 8.75. I'll mark it at that and then add my 2 inches sewing allowance. Then on the hip area, I'm going to take also my hip circumference, which is 45 divided by 4, will give me 11.25. I'll also mark it and then add my 2 inches sewing allowance. Please, if you have followed me up to this point, do not forget to hit on the like button so that YouTube will also show this video to other people that are interested, and also share my videos to your loved ones. Whatever I have on my hip area, that is what I am going to mark on the hem area too. That's the full length. So I'm going to use my ruler and connect it to the dots I have identified the way you see me do. Then I'll just go ahead from the hip area. Like I told you, is what I have on the hip area that I will mark on the full length, which is 13.25. I'm going to go ahead and mark it then and connect it straight down. Once I'm done connecting the lines, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So guys, I'm done cutting it out. You can see it. What I'm going to do next is to split the back side open. And then I'm going to, once I split that, I'm going to separate the two sides. So I'll set aside the back side and then cut the neckline of the front part, because I just cut that of the back side. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut the neckline of the front side. Once I'm done with that, then we're going to go ahead and cut out what we'll be using for the design and the front. That is what we'll be doing next. The material I have is what I'll be using for the front. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I lay it properly. Make sure that the two centers, the center front aligns with that of the material I'll be using for the design, and then I'll trace out the neck parts. I'll go ahead and bring it out and lay it up on the dress. Then I will measure out what we will need for the design. The design came down from the neck down to the hip area. It went down to the hip area. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that down, make sure I arrange it properly. Then we'll go ahead and take our measurements on that. So what I'll be doing next is to identify where the hip is. That is the next thing I'll be doing right now. And after I am done pinning it down, I'm going to identify the hip on the dress. that I have already cut out. So I'm going to mark it on the material I'm using to cut out the design. That's what I am doing right now. So I'm just going to come up from that hip area by 3 inches. And that is where my own design, the design I'll be doing on this dress, will end. So what I'll be doing now is from the armhole area. I'm just going to measure it because if you watch what we are doing, you find out that the one on the right left side started from the armhole directly. So I'm going to just trace out the armhole, then I'll take it down the way you're seeing me do. Then I will do it. I will use my free hand and connect it down to the 3 inches I came up with from the waist, from the hip line, and that will be it. And see what I'm doing. Just draw your own the way you see me drawing. You can just go ahead and draw it like that, straighten out all the lines that you have done. Once I'm done with that, I will go ahead and cut it out. After I'm done cutting it out, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Both the fabric for the dress and then the fabric for the design. I'm going to stretch it out, open them up, then and lay the design that we're having on the dress, on the fabric for the dress itself. Then and go ahead and trim out the other, as in the right arm side, because the right hand side design and the left hand arm design is not the same. For that of the right side, I'm going to, on the shoulder, I'm going to find the midpoint. That is on the material I'm using for the design. I'm going to find the midpoint. Then I'm going to identify the midpoint. That's is going to when I identified it, it was 4 inches. So I divide. It was the shoulder of the design is 2 inches. So what 4 inches? Sorry. So I had to divide it into two, making it 2 inches. So I'll just rule a line. Rule a line there. That is dividing the shoulder into two. 2 inches. I'll mark a line there. Then on the chest line where the neck depth stopped, I'm going to go in by 3 inches. I'm going to go in by 3 inches. I'm going to go in by 3 inches. Then I'll mark it there. Then I'll connect the 2 inches I identified on the shoulder area, and that's the 3 inches I identified on the chest area. I'm going to connect the two lines. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Once I'm done cutting it out, then I'll go ahead on my ironing board and iron an interface to the material, to the fabric I'll be using for the design. Then once I'm done with that, we are going to start with the joining and the sewing of the dress itself. So I'll be heading over to my machine right now to go and do that. Yeah, I am done with attaching the interface. What I used is a paper stay to make the material a bit firm, to make the fabric a bit firm. So I'm going to be laying it there. You can decide to use a taffeta. It's taffeta I'm using. You can decide to use an organza depending on what you want. And my material here is not enough. I am micromanaging. If not, I would have cut out a different interface, as in a different facing for the neck. But in this one, I'm going to be using this design to turn the neckline. It would have been easier if I used the material for the dress as in the facing. But anyway, all the same, if you don't have much material, you can go ahead and improvise the way I'm doing. But if you have a dress, if you have material, your fabric is still remaining, you can cut an interface, you can cut a facing for the neckline. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the neckline. That is what I have done. You can see it. I'm already turned the neckline with my design. So you can see how neat it is looking. I've gone ahead also to use hemming gum to hold it down a little bit. And if you are observant, you would have seen in the, as in after I joined the interfacing, I folded the edges of the design I am using. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch it, neatly stitch it the way I'm showing you right now. And I'm going to stitch it a little tiny at the edge of the design. I'm going to go ahead and stitch it on my machine. Then I'll bring it back so that we'll see what we have done. I'm going to go ahead as well and also use a facing to turn the neckline of the back side. And as well, I'm going to go ahead and also attach the zipper. All this I'll be doing off camera, and once I'm done doing that, I'll bring it so that we'll all see, because I don't want this video to be unnecessarily long. Thank you for following me up to this extent. Do not forget again to hit on the like button and also drop your concern or your question wherever you have a question in the comment section, so that I can always add to it when I come online. Here you go. I am done attaching my zip and also joining the shoulder as well. So we are almost done with the dress. So what we'll be doing right now is to set this aside and work on the sleeve. You can see how beautiful it is looking. Look at the design at the front and look at everything. It's already aligning and the cloth is already looking beautiful. So we're going to be working on the sleeve area. The design as well goes on the sleeve. So this is a basic short sleeve. If you don't know how to cut a basic short sleeve, please do well to go to my channel and you'll see videos on that. So what I'll be doing is that I'll be doing this. I've already put an interface on the taffeta. So what I'll be doing is that right side facing right side, then I will stitch wrong side of the material facing wrong side of the material for the sleeve facing the right side of the taffeta. Then I will stitch. Once I'm done stitching, I will bring it up the way you see me demonstrating on this video. Then I will go ahead. But first of all, let me go and stitch. Once I'm done stitching, I'll also back stitch or top stitch. So I am done with that. Then look at what I have. I've already top stitched on it as well to make it easier for the design to fold. So what I did was to fold the edge of that design I'll be using, so to make it neat. So what I'll be doing now is to run a stitch at the edge as well, to run a stitch or the design that I have made. So I'm going to be first of all using my hemming gum to hold it down before I go ahead and run a stitch on it. Once I'm done, I'll bring it so that we'll see. We cannot see what we have done. Whatever I do on the one of the sleeve, I'm going to do it on the other sleeve as well. So this is what we'll have after I am done stitching it. So what we'll be doing now is to go ahead and fix it on the dress itself. So what I'll be doing right now is to identify the center point of the sleeve itself. So once I identify it, I'm going to give it a little notch. I'm going to be doing this on both sides of the sleeve, on both sides of the sleeve. Then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and use my safety pin, my pin, to make sure that why I notched is to make sure that the center point of the sleeve aligns with where I join the two shoulders. That's the back and the front. So once I am done opening it right now, the way you see me do, I'm going to make sure that the notch area that I did on the sleeve aligns with the shoulder of the dress. So I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and use my pin and pin it down. So once I'm done pinning it down, I will take it to my machine and then I will sew in the sleeve. I'm going to be doing this on the both side of the sleeve. So once I'm done with that, once I'm done stitching it on the machine, I'm going to bring it out so that we'll all see what we have done. Yeah, I'm done doing that. So what we'll be doing next is to be taking the accurate measurement of the dress we are making. Then we'll now stitch. We'll now make use of our seam allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and arrange it. Well, arrange it, align it together. Then we take our measurement. This is very, very necessary. Once you do this on a dress, you wouldn't need to come and start amending and re-amending because everything will be perfectly fitted on the person you're making it for, on yourself, on the client, or anyone once you have done with this. So I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler, my tape rule around the measurements on the dress. The bust, you remember the bust is 47, then I will take out 47. That's 47 divided by 2. It's 18 and a half. I'll just do that on the and the waistline. I also divided the 35 by 2. On the hip line, I also divided 44, 45 by 2. Then I took out the measurement. You can see I've already used my chalk to identify where I'll be stitching. The place I run my chalk, that's where I'll be stitching. Okay, I'm done doing that. You can see how beautiful our dress is looking. I also went ahead to put a pocket, attach a pocket to the dress because the client loves pockets. So voila, here we'll have it. Thank you for sitting through. Thank you for watching. My returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. I love you all. 2023 was a wonderful year. And I believe that 2024 will be more wonderful for us all. Keep up with all your endeavors and it will be rewarded with great success. See you in my next video. Bye.